Welcome to the FitZen Project. The world teaches you to hustle harder, and I'm here to help you stop outsourcing yourself and start leading from within. I'm Rachel Fitzpatrick, and around here, alignment is the new hustle because you are your most important project. Hello, alignment is the new hustle is here. Yes, 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 and yes. And here's why. Because somewhere along the way, America convinced us that the busiest person wins. Like, I've heard this my whole life. You want to get something done, give it to a busy person. And a lot of that is true, like the one with the fullest calendar, with the side hustles, with the grind, the I'll sleep when I'm dead mentality. How many times have we heard that? We celebrate burnout and then we wonder why we're so exhausted. And I bought into it completely. Completely. And here's the thing, because like most of my life, I thought I was driven, you know? And looking back, I think I was just scared. I'm just telling you. I did some things that I'm not the most proud of. And at one point, I worked 2 jobs, went to school. I was able to buy my first house, go on some great vacations, and sold some weed. Not because like I loved drugs, but because I thought making more money would finally make me feel free. It was easy at the time when that was all going down. And honestly, it didn't make me feel free at all, quite frankly. I I don't know. I mean, have you ever noticed that every time you finally reach the thing that you've been working toward, your brain immediately invites another mountain for you to climb, like another certification, another promotion, another business, another goal, another reason that you notice that? I've spent the better part of my last 20 years living that way. And that's not a lie. Like, I feel like everyone has experienced this. And I know that like I'm asking you questions, they're like, yes, yes, preach to the choir. Woo, yes, got it. But it's like those things, those are the things that, yes, they get me to where I'm at, like right now, and I can talk about it. And do I have any regrets? Absolutely not. Would I do it differently? Absolutely, I would. But I don't think that like the burnout of situations and places and people and jobs and families and all of those things, I don't think the burnout actually much. I really don't. I think the burnout starts the moment you believe that your worth has to be earned. And when you decide that your worth has to be earned, like your worth is in like taking a rest has to be earned. You ever been like, I'm so tired, but I can't just sit still. I teach yoga, obviously, y'all know this if you've been following for a bit, and I teach meditation as well. I'm certified in both, and the thing about this whole thing is learning how to be with yourself, and that's really hard for, like, most of, everyone I know, and not ever sit with themselves, and because that's scary. I didn't like sitting with myself, it was scary, you know, because I could rest. I wasn't earning anything. I wasn't being productive. I wasn't being American. I was literally resting. And I didn't feel like I needed to be having permission to be lazy. No, that's two different things. But having permission to just like sit and rest and like chill, that's a that's a different side of living and life. And for most of my life, I was trying to earn my life. I was trying to earn the worth that I thought I needed because for most of my life, I felt very unworthy. I don't know. I don't know, and I didn't know who I was without a goal. Back then, like, it wasn't all that fun. Like, I didn't know who I was without the goal or without another job or without another project or another mountain to climb. Like, I felt like I needed to be all of these things to be worthy. And that stillness like that it made me so uncomfortable. But being productive and being part of something, a team, whatever, I was so busy, y'all. I was just so busy. It was mindless. It was busy being mindless. And I called it ambition. And yeah, probably from the outside in, it looked like I had it all together, you know? But nobody sees like the lonely nights and, the tears that, except Alfie, my dog, the other part of the struggle. But yeah, it was just like survival. And I was living in the city and trying to make it with a bunch of different friend groups, trying on a whole lot of different personalities that were never mine, but adapted to be around other people that I loved doing and all of the things. Like I would have fun for a bit, and then I'd have to switch to a different friend group, have fun for a bit, go to a different friend group, have fun for a bit, switch back to another friend group, whatever. Like that was its own hustle itself, was just like a cute bunch of people to be friends with. So I was never busy. And today I want to tell you why I stopped chasing that hustle and why I believe in my bones, in the cells of my body, why I believe alignment. And alignment to me means having all pieces of me like it can hum and strum together. What is going on that you're actually doing? But if you, as a person, don't feel like you're in alignment, then that's when you need to know you need to make some changes, some small steps to make sure you can reach this level of fulfillment inside. And it's inside. We spend a lot of time as an American culture to be like, love yourself, love your neighbor. If you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. But what does that love actually mean? But the hustle to getting these things, to being enough and then never being enough, that hustle, and that hustle to like wanting the worth and the value and then never ever achieving it, that hustle that comes, I thought vicious, right? And I just had said this, but so check it out. But those things all part of this alignment. Alignment is the new hustle. Let the alignment be the hustle, and then everything else will come to you as it should naturally flow with ease. When you start moving with the current of life, you go a lot faster than when you go against the grain and against the current of life. And I can tell you that over and over and over, but until you experience, you're not going to understand. And that's the thing. But I think that if you're in it right now and this is the light bulb that you need to be like, "Oh my goodness, this is it," then let it be true and let it. But alignment wasn't about doing yoga and meditating and burning incense and positive affirmations and or anything like that. It's literally asking the question like, does this cost me more than it gives? And I didn't know to ask myself that. Does this cost me more than it gives? Like, does this relationship fit me? Or does this friendship fit? Does this client fit? Like if you're an entrepreneur and you're in cahoots with who you serve to where you can't be a great steward, that's the question, man. Like, really? Like, is this the alignment that you desired? No, does this business fit? Does this schedule fit? Does this identity fit? Like, these are the things that I've didn't know that I needed to ask myself at the time. And alignment becomes the filter, not a feeling. And that's how you know if it's meant for you. And what's meant for you might not be meant for your best friend or your husband or your wife or whoever, your mom or your dad or your brother. Outsource that to. It's how much more can I carry? That's what the hustle asks. The hustle is how much more can I carry? And alignment will ask you, why am I carrying this in the first place? Straight up. That's the difference between the hustle of how much more I can carry and alignment in this in the first place. And that hustle is just going to create more and more and more. But alignment, it creates enough. Period. Pace is opportunity. But alignment attracts. It brings it in. It acts like the I didn't need another stream of income when I was in my low of lows, trying to make money in some random old ways. I success. That's what I needed. And I know that now, right? And then, like, somewhere along the way, I realized that I didn't actually want that financial freedom at all. I wanted the energetic freedom. That energetic freedom to me, that means movement, activity. The irony is that I probably work just as much today as I did back then. I mean, for real, I probably do. But I do my life today. Like I said, like I really find a lot of joy in the things that I'm doing. Because hustle was always driven by fear for me back then. And right now, I feel like this alignment, it's driven by trust, right? Trust. Trusting that it will all work out in time. Trusting in my worth enough. And trusting that what's meant for me doesn't require me to abandon myself to receive pass me by, right? And that's why you'll keep hearing me say alignment is the new hustle because the goal was never to build a bigger life. No. So just want you to know that you are your most important project and you too will thrive when alignment becomes your new hustle.